Kleiber Ford tractor was started in 1970 with my dad. He had worked as a tractor technician for the Fradies downtown for LaGrange Motor Company, and they asked him one day if he wanted to take over the tractor side, and he said most definitely, because that was what fascinated him the most. So him and his brother pooled their monies together and built out here in 1970, and we've had only one change of ownership since 1970, and that was in 1996 from my dad to me. I've welcomed Ryan into the business here as well, and he's 25 years old, but ever since he was 10 years old, he's been working around here in every aspect of the business, from the back of the shop, working on stuff, to the parts department, to the service manager, parts manager, and then over here to sales. And he's been doing sales now for, I think, about 5 years now.
Just the amount of business that we've grown it to. There's probably 100 people that walk through that door a day compared to 20 maybe it used to be back in the day. But the amount of businesses, it gets very, very busy at times. I mean, we're pretty diverse. I'd say the middle of the line, probably 50 to 75 horse, is the most popular.
100 horsepower on down, I guess. Mm-hmm. I guess our biggest one is almost 300 horsepower that we sold, but like Ryan said, it's 50 to 100 horsepower primarily, or we could say 100 horsepower on down. We do sell a lot of the compacts and subcompacts here as well. This used to be a big dairy area. It has shrunk, and row crop business has there's just a few left in the row crop business around us here. So yeah, it's primarily turned into cow-calf operations.
Being able to have what the customer's looking for, getting equipment and pretty much everything has been the most challenging here past year and a half. From the time we order it, it's probably about a year. A lot of what they're buying is stuff that we've had on order for a while, but yeah, kind of hard getting the customer to be patient enough to wait. Everything's hard to get. And from the little 25 horse to big 700 horsepower tractors, I mean, they're all about a year to get. The technology that they're putting into everything nowadays, it's can be exciting, but it's also nervous, because you got to have people qualified enough to be able to work on them. It's almost like having to have electricians work on the stuff nowadays, but
yeah, that's right.
It's also making it easier on the farmers and stuff too. But when it comes time to work on it, you got to have people qualified enough to work on it.
More challenging.
Yeah, we've got 4 tractor guys, 2 equipment, 2 in the power sports division, and 1 in the small engines like chainsaws and stuff like that. And more people. Yeah.
Yeah, the 4th one is coming on board to us here in a couple of weeks. The tractor technician that he was talking about there. We're looking for another power sports technician.
The power sports division is almost worse than the tractor side. Yep. As far as getting it, but I'd say they're both about equal. But pretty hard getting stuff from the power sports division. It doesn't matter what company it is. Having a hard time getting stuff. I guess these chips and stuff like that, just like cars and trucks.
What's a little more challenging, well, when we were a smaller dealership, I guess, with like one line of tractors, Ford tractors, till we become Kleiber Tractor and Equipment, which at that point in time we started diversifying, and we've diversified to so many lines that it's very challenging to keep up with keeping everybody happy at each of the lines. Then you got all your warranties in each of the lines. Then you got your parts in each of the lines. You got your special tools in each of the lines. Then you got your training for each one of your salesmen in each one of the lines. And so, I mean, we have probably 10 big constant lines, I guess you could say, and probably about 50 total of other lines that we represent, and it's challenging just to keep everybody happy, everybody trained, parts and tools. It's a big deal.
I mean, it's always challenging. Oh, that's a good question. I could name a lot of things now. Oh, it's just I guess sometimes you butt heads, but it's good. But you see him all the time, even after work. I mean, he knows who I am.